Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the Crypto Confidence Podcast. My name is Maya Middlemiss and I run a communications company called BlockSparks. We work with lots of exciting blockchain and cryptocurrency clients who are doing fascinating things with this new technology. But I'm not a technologist. In fact, none of the BlockSparks team are. We're storytellers, and it's from this point of view that after a lot of consideration and discussion, we felt there was indeed room for yet one more podcast about blockchain and cryptocurrencies. For there are many great podcasts already, which have inspired me and my colleagues and taught us so much about this space. There's such a lot of exciting work going on in this area, truly mind-blowing projects putting this new technology to work. And we believe we're standing on the brink of a once-in-a-lifetime scientific and economic revolution. Although it all started nearly a decade ago with the Bitcoin blockchain, what's happening now is about far more than money. The technology behind Bitcoin, the way that data can be distributed in a decentralized, transparent, secure and tamper-evident way, is being applied to an incredibly diverse range of real-world challenges and situations. Some of the brightest minds in the world, some of the smartest people I've ever met, are innovating in this space right now, and we'll be exploring and telling those stories as we discover together how to get started in this brave new world. We're going to assume you're starting in the same place that we did, as smart, curious users of technology rather than anyone looking to learn how to create it. As someone who wants to learn about how to apply it, what blockchain and cryptocurrencies can do for you, as well as what they're doing to change and disrupt the world. Because there are blockchain projects being developed and created around the world right now, driving solutions to many of humanity's most pressing and urgent problems. Underpinned by the fundamental transparency and inclusivity of blockchain technology, which is going to have social impact that's really hard to imagine right now. On the Crypto Confidence Podcast, we'll be talking to some of these innovators about what they're doing and why it matters. And yes, how you can get involved yourself as well if you choose to. But before I worked in blockchain, my background was in consumer research. However exciting this new technology is, the interests and rights of real people using it remain our central concern. As well as the amazing potential present in the crypto space, there's also disturbing degrees of risk and exploitation. Whilst the technology of the blockchain itself is rigidly secure in ways that it is important to understand, and we'll be discussing soon, the way in which people interact with it as users, this is evolving so fast, and that brings a range of risks and difficulties we have to tackle head on. Now, all new technology has its challenges, and some of us have lived through revolutions before, right? Indeed, none of the BlockSparks team are exactly digital natives. We love the online world and we're happily assimilated immigrants with all our visas and vaccinations, but we do remember the learning curve and how exciting it was in the past to see emergent technology start to change the world around us. However, the stakes were much lower when we sent our first emails or dabbled around trying to make GeoCities sites. If we messed it up, the worst that would happen is that the person never got your email or you derived some unfathomable error message. Even when we first learned to shop online, the most likely error was that the transaction would simply fail to go through. Or you get charged lots of international shipping because all the stores were physically based in the US. Remember when Amazon was just Amazon.com? But make a mistake sending or receiving cryptocurrency though, and it's far too easy to simply lose your money forever. So the learning curve is much steeper, and it's harder than we're used to. We're still very much at the stage where it's fundamentally inaccessible and difficult to use for most people in most circumstances, although there are a lot of people trying to create solutions to that, and we'll be looking at those. But because of this difficulty, and because people know this, there are plenty of bad actors around, eager to take advantage of new people coming into the space, who they regard as easy to rip off and exploit. There's so much to learn, and many people glad to share their knowledge and be truly helpful. But as with so much of the digital world, and not to mention the real one, not everything or everyone is as they seem. So we want to help everyday consumers, people without any professional background in information security or cryptography, to start to make sense of it all and make smart and safe choices in this new world. We believe that the potential of crypto is far too exciting and important to be left to hardcore geeks, so we're committed to using our professional communication skills to share what we're learning about this technology with the rest of the world. We're planning to bust a few myths, because cryptocurrencies do have a lot of bad press. Their association with some high-profile crimes and exploits, combined with strong, if sometimes vague, messages of concern from those who make the rules, can make the whole Bitcoin and crypto thing sound really dodgy and dangerous. The thing is, the possibilities and some of the ways that cryptocurrencies work do represent a threat to the people who make the rules. I mean the people who are part of the institutions whose job it is to regulate things like banking and taxation. Of course, they hate and fear anything which could make them obsolete or irrelevant. As we'll see, the whole point of using a blockchain is to make such middlemen completely unnecessary. Intermediaries like banks, brokers, credit card companies, remittance services and payment gateways, all of these things are going to be completely disrupted as more and more people start using and exchanging cryptocurrencies in everyday life. And the regulatory frameworks and laws can't change and catch up quickly enough. We know that our governments can't even tax tech giants like Amazon and Google properly yet after decades. How on earth will they catch up with crypto? At the moment, different parts of the world are shooting in different directions in an attempt to regulate things. Trying to get a grip on how to respond to all this stuff, it's really chaotic and fragmented. And there are so many different issues, from privacy and data protection to making sure you're staying safe on the tax front, that we can explore together. So without wanting to get down in the weeds of all the legalities, we'll be using future episodes to take a look at what the powers that be are saying, how the response varies so much around the world too. From countries struggling to ban all cryptocurrencies for various reasons, to those truly embracing the future, like Malta, which is rebranding itself as Blockchain Island. We'll also take a look at how the mainstream news about crypto is reported, often so badly explained, confusing, or just wrong technically. Frankly, I think this is often down to journalists feeling they have to explain at too high a technical level due to the lack of general public understanding, but they end up making it worse. It's a bit of a bee in the Blocksparks bonnet, so it's something we'll be looking at in our very next episode. So we hope this gives you some idea of what to expect from the Crypto Confidence podcast. I just want to wrap up by telling you one thing we won't be talking about or doing. We won't be giving financial advice or recommendations of any kind. What you choose to do with your own money is 100% up to you. I am not, nor are any of my colleagues, qualified to tell you what you should do with it. In fact, you will need to get used to a repeated disclaimer at the end of every episode, reminding you that everything we discuss is for your information and enjoyment. It's definitely not financial advice of any kind. We will talk about specific currencies sometimes, or particular projects doing interesting things in the crypto space. If they're projects we're working with professionally, we'll be sure to disclose that. But we still won't encourage you to invest your money with them, only to find out more. And in every situation, do your own research. That unpronounceable acronym, DYOR, will feature heavily because there really is no substitute for figuring this stuff out for yourself and satisfying your own concerns before you put your hard-earned cash anywhere near any crypto asset. And we're not going to talk trading either. I'm not a trader. I have neither the knowledge or the expertise nor the nerves of steel required to trade crypto assets. In such unbelievably volatile markets, there are indeed great profits to be made, just as there are great risks of losing the whole lot. It's not for me, and it definitely isn't something you have to know about to get involved in this stuff. There are a great many podcasts and other resources about trading cryptos and different markets. I urge you to seek them out and get educated if this interests you. Because once again, we are not your financial advisor, we are not your mum, and we're not fortune tellers with a crystal ball either. Whilst talking and thinking about where these new technologies could take us is great fun. In fact, it's the most exciting thing in the world. There are no certainties about any of this, and we're certainly not going to suggest any. Sometimes I'll be talking about or talking to projects which Blocksparks is involved with professionally, in which case we'll be completely open about that association, like I said before. We're lucky enough to be working with some great people doing amazing things, and if that's going to affect you as a consumer, we might well invite them on to explain exactly how and what's in it for you. So we're going to stick to how cryptocurrencies and blockchain tech are starting to impact on our everyday lives, and how you can make smart, safe decisions about how much you want to get involved or not. We just want to help you grow your crypto confidence. We'll be dropping new episodes every other Friday morning for your listening pleasure, and you can subscribe to us via iTunes or wherever else you get your podcasts. In due course, it would be brilliant if you wanted to rate and review us too, but not on a first date. Let's get to know each other better. Stick around and tell us what you think. You can tweet us at CryptoConfPod, where we'll also be sharing other informative links which we hope will interest you, or you can find our new Facebook page, even send us an email. We'll put all the links to everything in the show notes. If you have questions you'd like answering, maybe we can find out and discuss them in future episodes. thanks so much to listening to our very first Crypto Confidence podcast. And if you like what you hear so far, then we would love it if you came back for more. Oh, and here's that disclaimer we warned you about. Nothing in this podcast or our related social media, nor anything else published by BlockSparks OU at any location, is intended as financial, investment or trading advice. Everything we share represents our personal opinions for your information, education and entertainment only. You should not make any decisions based on anything we share with you, not without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with appropriate professional advisors. Crypto Confidence is all about being smart and informed and making the right choices for you.